So Matt and Brian, you hear the cat just growl real low and dangerous. Nick, you hear meow meow, I can smell you, meow meow meow. Roll your attacks.
All right, Majenko flies over. Lumbrisa, I've got you!
Can he do a flyby heal?
Sure.
Get out! Get out! No!
Sure, he'll go right there.
I am sorry, I am trying to be helping, but...
What happened to Trinia?
She just disappeared.
I did...
We lost the kid.
I am not understanding. She just got hit by one of those raisins. She disappeared. She is gone.
And Arabella said I turned to stone?
You were a statue. Must come back.
You know what? I just give him a hug. A big chalky hug.
Okay.
This is not the time!
He just side-eyes you and looks at Arabella and says, of all the places you wanted to fucking teleport us, you brought us right in front of the king's nose.
Yeah, because I have to warn the fucking king. So you should probably leave. Go slink off into your little hole. And maybe warn your people.
He looks like he's about to punch you.
There is a 1,000-year-old dragon burning down a city with over 100 giants right now. I don't have time.
Remember, the only reason that any of that worked back there is because of me.
Yeah. Do you want a prize?
So you see that guy shows up and swings at you, and it scrapes across your armor as you cast your spell.
Go mithril breastplate, bitch.
Glad y'all came to our hoot, Nanny. Good to see you, boss. How you enjoying yourself so far? Hey, get her another ale on me. No, get her 2 ales on me.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
The
Why not?
croaky bartender
I
comes
should
back
just start
and sets
drinking.
2 mugs.
Let's get this battle underway. We're going down. Get down, get down. Ba-da-da-dip. Jungle boogie. You can read that there is a contemplation about the others in the room and their responses, regardless of what his answer is.
As in, he's concerned about what their his response will be because of the people in the room.
Yes.
I kill everybody else in the room.
Doesn't look like it on our side.
He doesn't have that. He doesn't have that prepared. He is going to. Oh, he's gonna unload one of his most powerful spells at all of you.
Fuck.
Magic missile.
Kill.
It is Toivo's turn. Toivo appears, closes his eyes as you explain what's going on, turns its head to look at, or to its head so it's facing the Hound of Tyndalos. So Matt and Brian, you hear the cat just growl real low and dangerous. Nick, you hear meow meow, I can smell you, meow meow meow. Roll your attacks, please.
All right, Majenko flies over. Larissa, I've got you!
Can he do a flyby heal?
Sure.
Get out! Get out! No!
Sure, he'll go right there.
I am sorry, I am trying to be helping, but
What happened to Trinia?
she just disappeared.
I did.
We lost the kid.
I am not understanding. She just got hit by one of those raisins. She disappeared. She is gone.
And Arabella said I turned to stone?
You were a statue. Welcome back.
You know what? I just give him a hug. A big chalky hug.
Okay.
This is not the time!
He just side eyes you and looks at Arabella and says, of all the places you wanted to fucking teleport us, you brought us right in front of the king's nose.
Yeah, because I have to warn the fucking king. So you should probably leave. Go slink off into your little hole. And maybe warn your people.
He looks like he's about to punch you.
There is 1,000-year-old dragon burning down a city with over 100 giants right now. I don't have time.
Remember, the only reason that any of that worked back there is because of me.
Yeah. Do you want a prize?
So you see that guy shows up and swings at you, and it scrapes across your armor as you cast your spell.
Cool. Mithril breastplate, bitch.
Glad y'all came to our hootenanny. Good to see you, boss. How you enjoying yourself so far? Hey, get her another ale on me. Now, get her 2 ales on me.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
The
Why
croaky
not?
bartender
I just
comes
gotta
back
just start
and sets
drinking.
2 mugs.
Let's get this battle.
Beneath curls of gilded light, 2 paths converge one fateful night. Rose and souls, their tales align, a conquest forged in space and time. Dice roll in the twilight, threads of fate entwine. The boneyard calls its champions as ancient runes still shine. Rise, oh heroes brave, face the dark that craves. In the dark we stand, together we defend the land. Our faith now forged in precipice, the stolen conquest. Gallery of whispers dance watching stolen souls are cast. The planes and powers tremble as destinies collide. Heroes bound by duty, through chaos will decide. Rise, oh heroes brave, face the dark that craves. In the dark we stand, together we defend the land. Our fates now forged in precipice, the stolen conquest. The stolen conquest. Legends weave together across the multiverse. The throne, the souls, the power, a blessing or a curse.
Hello, everybody. Welcome on in to the Stolen Conquest. We are winding down, guys. Winding down, you'll see a reduced number of characters and players as the party diversifies. Is that the right word? Divides, not diversifies, divides. Splits up. We'll let our game masters talk and cover that. We do have channel points exclusive to this game. This will be the last night that these channel point redeems will exist. So make sure to feel free to utilize that. And of course, I hope you guys all enjoyed the music, the overlays, because after tonight, it is very likely we will not see any of this again, as the party will once again go back to the Claimers Conquest and the Stolen Souls independently. So with that being said, I'm going to let Monkey Swag and Zine take over and kind of talk about all of the things.
I'll talk a little bit about the channel points that you can spend to affect the game. So there are a couple different channel points you can choose to affect the way things play out in this crossover game. One is you can spend your channel points to add a complication. Our GM, Zine, has a deck, a social combat deck. You spend your points and you choose a color, and he draws from that deck. And it affects the person in the current scene somehow.
Raid! Zubatsi coming in with the raid. Welcome on in, Zubatsi. Zubatsi was doing Wee Wednesday, where they do Wii games, these retro Wii games on the Wii. So they call it Wee Wednesday. How you doing? Welcome on in, everybody. Thank you for being here. Roid raid. You guys are all so roided. Welcome on in, guys. Thank you so much for being here. Appreciate you guys. Go check out Zubatsi. If you want fun and silliness, that is the place to do it. Amazing thing. Apologize for my chat that they keep saying they're roided. That's okay. I know your chat, Zubatsi. I understand how roided they can be. We get a little shout out here, guys. If you don't know Zubatsi, go and give that wonderful little peanut a follow. Lots of fun. Always shenanigans and hilarity over there. I love being over there. Such good vibes as well. So go and give a follow and go and check her out. She's amazing stuff. Guys, for those of you that just came in on the raid, we're doing tabletop role playing. This is the system is Pathfinder First Edition. We're kind of winding down as a merger, so this is kind of a campaign merger. There are two campaigns that kind of got squashed together for a short time, and we've been doing that, and now they're going to kind of go again to their own stuff. So you get to come on in on something very special. Yep, tabletop role playing via the digital verse. So welcome on in. I will let Monkey Swag and Zine continue taking over. They are our game masters for the day. Feel free to chat and chat. I will remain in the chat, and of course I am playing as well. So we'll see you there in the chat.
Yeah, so Zubatsi's stream, you got here just as we essentially started telling you what channel points could do. One is you can spend points to make a scene more complicated by the complications deck. You spend your points, pick a color, and our other GM, Zine, draws a card. The other one you can do is you can spend your channel points to create a rumor that spreads through the party that is somehow acknowledged in the current scene, or as close as it makes sense to. And then finally, the last is a benefit to the players. You can spend your channel points on conquest currency. Right now, there are only 2 groups that can benefit from this. The Curse of the Crimson Throne group gets a hero point that is keyed to charisma. And it allows them to do several things with it. Charisma-based rerolls makes me or Matt reroll a d20, or it empowers a charisma-based spell. And then the Rise of the Rune Lords group receives a +1 bonus on skill checks, attack rolls, and saving throws, and it can stack up to a +5 bonus for 1 check. So those are all the things that you can spend your channel points on. The last that we left off in this event, the party was starting to get towards the later half of the evening. However, there was quite the complication thrown into things when one of the guests revealed themselves to be a would-be assassin that attacked one of the players, rendering her unconscious and kidnapping her. When the guests found out about this, panic ensued, and it was through some very very inspiring and empathetic speeches from Dalibor and Sephi that not only were they able to calm the crowd, convince them to stay, but also that they were able to improve everyone in the party's attitude towards the 2 groups. That comprise the Claimers Conquest crew. Once the party was calmed, several of the players were investigating the site where the violence happened, which was in a lounge next to the office that was previously off limits, was locked. And Arabella was able to divine the location of this Red Mantis assassin. And several of the members of the party, the entirety of the Stolen Souls group, as well as Miles and Naveen, departed to go rescue Shy and deal with the assassin. Here, however, the next phase was found with an announcement that a special wine was to be served to all the guests. A 700-year-old Scarwall vintage from Castle Scarwall, likely bottled by servants of Kazavon himself. This allowed the players to talk about the wine, and the wine is continuing to be served through the evening. However, as we got to the end of the 5th phase, Arabella used the scrying mirror to find the Red Mantis, and it resulted in a vision to several of the players as the spell concluded, showing them a horrific vision of a shadowy and dark place and of spooky things. And it included some mental feedback to those who were unprepared for what they saw. And so with us beginning the start of phase 6, I'd like everybody to re-roll their social initiative. So that is an initiative check, with the only difference being in your initiative, it's based off of charisma instead of dex. Any feats or traits you have are legitimate for it. And then you can edit your numbers in the turn order.
I didn't do well.
Despite you being built for social encounters, your social initiative is not very good.
I don't have one of the lowest charismas in the group.
My token isn't showing in the initiative.
I see it.
Maybe let's try doing this.
Cephi's is the only one I don't see. Cephi and Arab. Oh, maybe that's.
How about now? Do you see it now?
Yes. Now I see it.
Yeah.
Can I give somebody else my nat 20? One of them?
No.
You got 2 nat 20s, one with each character. Oh my gosh.
Apparently the fates want you to go first.
And second, maybe.
Wow.
Good.
You got this.
Nice. Sometimes it's good. Sometimes it's good to go later too, though.
Initiative.
Can you add Sephi to the initiative?
She is in the initiative. Oh, you might be on 2 different maps. Edit Arabella's first, and then I will move you.
Sometimes it's good to not go first, though, on something like this. Like, you can see what other people do, and you can kind of like pick up the pieces that are left behind, or pick up the ball. Like Sephi did for me last time. Like, picked it up and was like, nailed it.
Wow, this is clear who is going to be first here.
Hashtag not me.
So for the start of phase 6, many of you have windows that you can see the outside. I think Sephi is, although not in a position to look outside, she could see this. Dalibor upstairs, you can see it. You're in the hallway upstairs looking, and you can see sort of see the lobby. Brianna, you see it because you had a front stage view of it, but you all notice the Stolen Souls group that was part of Arabella's large entourage, as well as Naveen and Miles leave the party. And you, in fact, do see Miles goes back to the weapon check, or Naveen do for any weapons that they might have checked in, as well as the Stolen Souls group, and reclaim it, and they leave the party.
Do we notice the fact that their group is missing one person?
I would say that would require an intelligence check, except for Arabella, who automatically knows, and Brianna and Arabella, because they were present for the
right.
Sephi, I'm not sure if you're gonna care.
Yeah, no, Sephi has other issues.
So really just Dalibor an intelligence check.
14.
I would say with a 10, you realize it, just because the one person that's missing is the one that made the biggest scene out of all of them when she arrived.
Yeah.
She had that grand entrance where she used some sort of persuasive power or presence to affect almost everyone that was there.
Right.
So she sticks out like a sore thumb when she's not there, as well as when she is there.
Okay. I'm going to assume something's up, but I also know how important this is. And if Naveen's on it with them, I'm not going to be too concerned. If they need help, they will come get the rest of us.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just going to stay status quo unless I hear otherwise from them.
Okay.
Plus, there's a plethora. If they need help, there's a plethora of other people they can go get help from.
It's a big group that leaves.
Yeah.
It's all the Stolen Souls group plus Miles and Naveen, and
yeah, and the big gold girl might still be here somewhere.
Yeah, maybe.
Getting all the attention of all the down to the dance floor.
But Sephi, in the initiative, you are first. You you recover from this, like you feel your senses fading around you. You have this intense vision.
Yeah.
You've had visions all your life. But this one was much darker and different. Um, and as you come to, you can see you are crowded by a group of people, of curious onlookers who have surrounded you.
Oh, good. Is Steffi still standing?
You are standing, although you can feel there's a couple hands on your shoulders as you look and see Neil Landis is steadying you.
And remind me again, she was bleeding from her eyes and her mouth.
Yeah, your face feels wet.
Yeah. So I think coming out of that vision, she's just gonna have like a moment of kind of just like shock and just kind of like taking a moment to make sure that this is reality and not like a secondary vision. And then like she'll slowly like reach up to feel her face to feel why it's wet.
And you touch it and you look and you can see this black, almost like the consistency of oil, but with your heel, you see it as blood. And it's like the blood that's from like the deep organs or the deep areas of your body where if you were critically wounded, you would see it.
Oh. That's not good.
You see the older Garundi man that is next to you takes an apprising look over you, as does the old woman in the veil that you had met before. And she is just kind of looking over you, confused. He looks over you and says, "You've had quite the shock. Should we should escort you to a hospital."
Oh, I don't know if I need a hospital.
Or one of the temples.
I think I could probably heal myself, but maybe
The Bank of Abadar does allow after-hour visits if you are able to pay the premium.
thank you. That's very nice. I am a healer too, so I think I can heal myself, but if there's a spot to sit down and hopefully I didn't I, oh my, I apologize. I did not expect to get a vision here at the party. And normally
As you're
they're not
stammering,
this.
Neil Landis is leading you to this bench over here. As you're leaving, make a sense motive.
That Evangeline lady is going to be mad that I'm ruining her party.
Okay. Yeah, you're just kind of shocked and stunned. He leads you over to the bench where you sit down.
Can Steffi do a heal check on herself?
Yes. You can see Neil Landis reaches and he pulls his a small handkerchief and he offers it to you.
Oh, thank you. Oh, 35.
35. Okay. Adjust this for the stream. I think there we are. Steffi, you know that you've suffered a shock to your system that has caused you a bit of brain fog, I guess is the best way to put it, or like a brain zap. but you are not critically injured.
Okay.
As critically injured as the blood you are bleeding would lead you to believe with a heal check.
She sighs. Okay. I think this is just a little bit of a god being a little over dramatic.
And what god would that be? Neolandis asks. As he shifts to the side.
I'm just gonna have Sephi roll knowledge religion because she doesn't really think of Zon-Kathon. But 25, I'm assuming.
Well, the aesthetic was certainly reminiscent of Zon-Kathon, or maybe an archdevil from the Hells, or Asmodeus, or something evil, certainly, is what the feel of it was, but you don't worship any evil god, so why would that happen?
Yeah. Well, definitely an evil god or like archdevil. Maybe like Asmodeus, Zon-Kathon. That's really weird. They usually don't talk to me because I don't worship evil gods. Pretty much avoid them.
Let's see. Well,
But
should we leave?
Chat has redeemed a complication.
Oh god.
Oh, shit.
What's blue?
What's blue?
I just realized some of the people that are normally here aren't technically playing today. So does that technically mean they can redeem shit as normal?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know. That's what I'm just waiting for. Is like the rumors to start flying in.
Oh yeah, because there can be a lot of them. As you're talking about like the gods not normally talking to you, not paying attention to you, you feel an energy again moving, stirring within this museum. You feel like perhaps it is another calling, another vision from a higher power. I need you to make a diplomacy or a knowledge religion check, please.
Definitely diplomacy. I don't have my staff. Ooh, 33?
33. Well, you doubled the DC.
Okay.
So you know that whatever this entity that's trying to call onto you is benevolent. It's something that wants to aid you. It could be perhaps Serenray.
Oh.
It could be Desna, could be one of the other forces of good and joy wanting to help you out.
Oh. Okay.
Since you doubled the DC and you rolled a 2, I will let you add a +2 to one roll in the next 10 minutes.
Okay.
It has to be for Sephi.
Yeah. Is that basically the aid from the deity, or is it something where Sephi has to like allow the deity?
It's like the aid. You feel like this
Got it.
benevolent force wants to help you to counteract the trauma that you suffered before.
Okay. Oh. So Sephi will say in Yolandis, well, good news is that a good god like Serenray just gave me a pat on the back. So I know this is probably really weird it kind of being an oracle, this kind of happens randomly. I think if I just go clean myself up, I'd be okay. And once I get some diamond dust, I can just heal myself.
Okay.
As long as you're okay, right? That was probably very shocking.
I was just concerned about you.
Okay.
Boss battle.
I should probably, yeah, the vision I saw was not good. There was a lot of people in darkness, and there was a tower, and they were screaming in pain, and there was a mirror that was put together. Don't really fully understand it.
You can't say it's a specialty of mine to piece together visions or prophecies.
No,
I
but
serve more in practical manners.
Yeah, I'm not very practical at all. Do you know where the restroom is here?
I don't believe there's any sort of public facility here.
Oh, well, there was a kitchen. I could probably just go clean up in there real quick. Maybe we should find Brianna. She's an oracle too. She probably had the same vision.
All right. So he leads you out of the hall, and you look down the hallway and you see almost as if they were placed there.
Brianna.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
You probably just see Brianna's kind of shakenly kind of close that office door after they all left, just to kind of
And Sephi, like she'll like be
keep
wiping
the glitter blood out of you.
Yeah, she'll be wiping some of like the stuff off her face still, and be like, "Hey, Brianna, did you happen to just get a creepy vision?" And
I did. Were there chains involved?
yes.
Then yes, I did. And Brianna will kind of offer as a gesture and then pull out like a little handkerchief or whatever to help kind of clean you up.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it was real embarrassing. Do you know what god that was from?
I just assume whenever I get dark visions like that, it's probably Zonkathon trying to fuck with me in one way, shape, or form. So,
Chat has redeemed a complication.
of course you did. Of course you did.
Yep. Let's see what. So technically, is this Brianna's complication or Sephi's complication?
This would still be Sephi's complication.
Okay.
Oh man. Well, I got +2.
That's
as you're
mean,
sitting
Foxy.
there,
That's mean. I'm just saying.
As you're sitting there talking, Sephi, you hear some of the conversations coming from other areas, like conversations happening in the kitchen. As you kind of are hearing the mumbling going on in there, I would like you to make a sense motive or a knowledge local check.
Sense motive, and I'll use my +2. 37.
37. You hear some of the murmurings in the kitchen, and you hear the voice. Can you give me a knowledge local check, please?
Is it DC 10?
Yes.
Oops. 10.
You got a 10. You hear someone's speaking, and their accent is
Oh, wait. Sorry. I
How
added
is that possible that you have a +20 if you
Yeah.
can
Oh,
only
No.
get a
yeah.
10?
Never mind. I got a 9.
You got a 9. You hear someone talking about how they can't wait for this party to be over. They thought they would be able to hook up this evening with Lady Savasha Versade. And they haven't been able to spend any quality time alone with her like they normally do at these events. And so he is just ready to leave unless he can find some arm candy or something to keep him occupied here. Unfortunately, with your 9, you don't know, like you can't place the voice of who it is, but it's someone either in the kitchen or in the dining area.
Well, Seffi's already on a date. I think Seffi kind of like sidesteps from the kitchen to like distance herself a little bit from the conversation.
Okay.
And just will then ask Brianna, "You're not hurt, are you?"
I don't think so. I will say one of Arabella's people though looked a bit worse for the wear, much like you. The fox person.
Oh shoot, I was supposed to heal their fingers. Are they here?
No, they just left with Miles and Naveen to go rescue their missing friend.
Oh. Was that what that scream was about?
Yes, she was attacked by a I think Arabella mentioned it was a Red Mantis assassin of some kind.
Okay, well, we should probably keep that hush hush.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
Yes, that's why I'm only telling you. Although at some point I should probably let Dalibor know what's going on.
Maybe we tell him after the party in case anybody's listening in on us.
That is not a bad idea.
Okay, well, do I look okay or do I need to go clean up more?
Let's tell you what, let me help you get cleaned up here.
Okay. All right. And then Safi will look back at Neolandis and be like, maybe if you want to give me a moment, I'll get cleaned up.
I think I'll go catch up with the king, he says.
Okay. And then after he leaves, Safi's gonna look at Brianna and be like, our date is not going well. I think I'm messing up a lot. And I'm pretty sure me bleeding from my eyes has freaked him out.
Make an intelligence check, Safi.
Okay, I'll do it right this time.
Can I
8.
Could I make a sort of a sense motive on not on Sephi but on the gentleman who just left?
Sure.
For what it's worth, just to see if Sephi's statement about scaring him off is like if he seemed actually kind of put off by all of this. And go nat 20.
Yeah.
Yep. I'll send you a message on GChat.
Excellent.
I guess she'll also mention there's also a guy in the kitchen that's apparently lost his date and is considering leaving the party. But I don't know who he is.
Do
And
you say that, Sephi, with your 8? After saying that, you realize that her date just left.
oh, Steffi. Oh, Brianna's date.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? Maybe you should go stop that guy that's leaving because my brother left you. Although it sounded like you guys were having a very good time.
Don't get me wrong. Your brother is a lovely individual.
Well, I mean,
And
it's just a first date. It's nothing serious. And like I said, if you want to look at your options, there's somebody in the kitchen that's looking for some
I
someone to chat with.
I have someone else that my I guess I could say where my interests lie, and I'll leave it at that.
Oh. Do they know?
Sorry, let me read a thing real quick here.
Sure. Delay, deflect. Excuses.
Sorry. So, yes. Kind of. It's complicated.
Okay,
But
well, we can talk about it a different time.
yeah, that perhaps after the party's over.
Okay.
I guess depending how long you say it takes, if we've got her cleaned up and
Yep.
okay, it's like, why don't we head back and see if maybe we can turn things around a bit with your boon companion over there. You have the
Yeah, I have to say I'm not very good at like relationships or dating at all. Like every one of them has turned out well. I mean, I guess
and,
I only.
and I hook her arm as we start to make our way back towards the party and goes, neither do I, dear. Neither do
I.
Okay. From that, we'll move from Sephi to Arabella, and Arabella is upstairs. Arabella, you've just finished casting this this spell, and you've received this horrific vision. I'd like you to make a bluff check.
Oh, I gotta switch to Arabella. Bluff to Corbosans.
Yep. Oh man.
42.
Just to show you that this person is pretty good at reading people.
Whoa.
Oh man.
That was
Yeah.
close.
And you come out of this vision, and you can see Glorio leaning against the pedestal next to you. And he's just kind of looking at you with a little smirk.
Arabella kind of just look at Glorio. I wouldn't lean against that pedestal if I were you. I mean,
Why not?
because the magic in this mirror is unstable.
Hmm.
Someone sent me over here to look at it.
I see you're very much interested in this. Well, are you interested in this artifact? And he
Magic
says
items.
artifact in the term of like a historical relic, not a
Magic.
magic connotation.
Honestly, only mildly.
You aren't the first to seem quite interested in it this evening.
Oh, who else?
I saw a few of your compatriots looking at it earlier,
Yeah, that makes sense.
whispering to one another.
Yeah, they noticed the unstableness. Like I said, I wouldn't lean too close or touch it. Unless you or yourself are practicing the arcane arts.
I know a bit.
I was actually hoping to have a conversation with you. Although
Oh,
we may need to set up another time.
no time like the present.
I guess I wouldn't call this a favor. But now that I am introduced to the peerage review and the nobility, eventually I will need friends or alliances.
And you'd like to ally with me?
Well, I'd like to discuss the possibility. I think we could both help each other
I agree.
because the king likes me, and so does Neil Landis, the seneschal.
And I all but own Old Corvosa.
Mm-hmm. So, are you open to such an alliance?
I am. And I have a gesture of good faith to you.
To me.
Mm-hmm. To show my goodwill.
Sense motive. Not as good as Zephy's. Only a 26.
This guy oozes confidence, charisma, and he doesn't show his hand in the slightest to your perceptions. This is somebody who has been doing this maybe longer than you've been alive.
Yeah.
And his skill in the court shows it. I'm willing to assist you and your friends with a mild interest. He says, his eyes kind of, this time he does show his hands. His eyes dart to the side briefly, and you pick up looking at it with your 26. He's pointing towards the mirror.
I see.
I know where this particular relic is going. And I know it's going somewhere you don't want it to. And I'm willing to assist you in stopping this from happening. So long as certain secrets stay secrets forever.
Ooh. I'm like, out of character, the bad news. I'm like, I don't know how much Arabella cares about the mirror in the boneyard.
And Arabella, I don't know. Does Arabella know where this mirror is going? Scheduled to go?
I'm just gonna say no.
Okay.
But she does know that it's connected to Zon-Kathon.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Brianna voiced concerns about it.
I'm sure the other
Yes.
people in the
When she-
mind link would tell you too.
I guess we are in a mind link. So if I agree,
Do you want to reach out to anybody in the mind link?
Curly Girl says in chat that Saya did tell Arabella, and that pretty much that room, everybody in that room, everything. That's right, because Saya just blurbed everything out like a, like a 13-year-old girl would.
okay, and if Saya knew that
And
they went to
Saya
Night
was
Off,
told that it was going where it was going, was she not?
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, to Night All.
It is going to Night All.
And in connection to my vision, it would probably be good to stop that.
Well, there's somebody powerful now in Night All
Mhm.
who is not any of your friends.
Yeah.
And if they get their hands on whatever unstable magic this mirror has,
They'll use it against us.
I mean, you're the one with the 28 end.
Yeah. Well, I think
Glorio's confident smirk betrays that he knows all of this.
yeah. Well, I'm not in the habit of sharing secrets. So I think we have an understanding.
Excellent. Then let this be a start of a new, profitable relationship.
Indeed.
I swear to God, I'll pistol whip the next guy that says shenanigans.
Shenanigans?
Oh.
Anything else you want to say to Glorio, Arabella, or is there somewhere else you're gonna head towards?
Do I do an influence check on him?
You don't need to.
Oh, okay. I don't think she's gonna linger too long because she doesn't want to seem too in cahoots with him if they go down, if stuff goes down. So
Chat
she just
has
says,
redeemed a complication.
Oh, of course.
Yellow.
Okay.
You're gonna get every color of the frickin' rainbow before your turn is done.
I
here.
know.
I mean, might as well. Why not?
I mean, it's a different character, so it's technically starting over.
That's true.
Chat
It's not like
has
it's-
redeemed a complication.
Oh wow.
Two
Oh.
yellow and a green.
Okay, we're gonna do them in order. The first
Oh
yellow.
my gosh.
Thank you for the follow, Cleo.
I'm gonna send you a quick message, Matt.
Okay.
A yellow, a green, and a yellow
Before
from three
you
different
do that.
people.
Is Miss Foxglove gonna come up to Arabella and say, I have a box of your things?
It's the heads of your friends. Bum, bum, bum. I can't believe 3 people. Bing, 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 bing.
I know. They were all
Okay.
thinking it.
And you can take off one of those, and I'll reveal that one.
So as you're As you're sitting there, you see Ziva does walk up. And as she's kind of looking at you and at Glorio, she goes, I don't think that we've been introduced. I am Ziva Foxglove. What's your bonus to local for Arabella?
19.
19. So I'm not going to have you roll. You know that she's the proprietor of the green market.
Oh, okay.
It is deals in all sorts of goods as long as they are not magical.
Yeah, which is why Arabella's probably never been there.
One thing that she can get though is items that can be used for magical purposes, gems, rare herbs, things of that nature. And as you begin to talk with her, or I should say, as she begins to talk with you, you realize she knows who you are and kind of what power you kind of wield here in Corvosa, being a very powerful arcanist. And as she's talking shop with you, you can make a bluff or any type of profession check to basically get a free way to try to gain influence with her.
Sure, I'll do the bluff.
Not all the complications are bad, is what we're hearing.
Correct.
That's nice.
40.
You did make the DC. That does count as an additional success.
Nice.
Okay.
For Lady Foxglove.
Nice.
Now, green. As you are, Lady Foxglove kind of walks off. And just as you're about to, like, you think get some peace, make your way, breaking from Glorio, you see Orno Reeves walks up.
Oh.
And he's like, oh, Arabella, it has been a long time since we have crossed paths. I do want to say that the Church of Osmodius is here to give aid to those that are in need. He leans in to where he's trying to hide his words from anyone outside of you, Glorio, and himself. It's like, I have a problem with your friend Dalibor. He is a man of immense faith in that money-hungry, poor excuse for a deity Abadar. I know that you yourself have not had great dealings with the church. I am just looking for maybe information, perhaps an ally that would not mind seeing the bank brought down a notch for all of the problems that they have inflicted on our fair city. What do you say? With this, you can make a intimidate or a sense motive check. This is also an influence. The downside is that a failure counts as 2 failures. A success will count as 2 successes, though.
Just kicking the
I
balls.
think
This is my
Yeah.
response. Whack!
On the other hand, I could totally see Arabella becoming an Asmodean.
Oh, yeah.
No. Asmodeans are lawful.
So what are you going to do? Sense motive or intimidate?
Probably sense motive.
Okay.
I kind of want to do an intimidate, but my intimidate is not as high as I thought it would be.
About
30.
You know with your sense motive as you're talking to him, he doesn't need an answer now. He really does want to take the Bank of Abadar down. You beat the DC high enough that that he is trying to help rebuild the image of the Church of Osmodius. Because again, like yeah, they have a bad reputation for obvious reasons, but they are also a lawful entity within the city. And he is also one of the best lawyers within the city. So having him as an ally is not a bad thing. You don't have to give him an answer now. You could stretch it out. You already did. You did beat the DC, so you do have 2 successes.
Okay.
You beat the DC by 6. That counts as 1 additional success. So do you want to string him along or do you want to give him an answer?
I think Arabella is going to string him along a little bit.
Okay.
And I think she's going to say, yeah, man, this might. I am curious. I know that the Church of Asmodeus was doing collections during the plague that hit our city. But perhaps if you can substantiate all the other ways that the church has helped the city during the time of crisis, we can use that as documentation.
Goes, yes, well, the biggest thing is my fellow acolytes have been going through Old Town Corvosa and have been healing free of charge those that have been afflicted by the attacks of the recent outbreak of the shiver plagues, I think they might have been calling them there. People have been attacking each other in fits of nightmares brought on by a new strain of shiver that has been coursing through the poorest in our community. We, unlike the Church of Abadar, do not require a tithe or a membership in order to be healed. We do that out of the respect and caring of the lawful nature of our fellow citizens.
That can't think of the right word. That is enlightening.
Thank you.
Perhaps more examples of this and we can discuss further.
Yes, well, you know where the church is. Anytime you want to discuss the betterment that Osmodians have done for this city, I am more than welcome to entertain you there. And he goes, have you been downstairs yet? I think I might take a look.
Oh man, she didn't really want to hang out with him.
As you see, Orna Reeves heads down the stairs. Glorio just is there with that smug smirk. And he says, my, popular girl. And says, don't worry, you have my aid with certain matters, so long as your discretion is promised.
Arabelle kind of nods her head.
And then you leave to wherever you're going.
Yeah, I think that she was gonna maybe head towards where the king was and the mayor.
Okay. We will just tack you on to that, along with a big group of people who are gonna be there. As Arabella leaves, the last complication.
Oh God.
Glorio watches you leave, smirking, and looks down at the mirror, and he says, and I have just the man for the job. He turns briskly on his heel and goes over to a window. The token to show him.
I know who this is.
And he looks out the window, and you can see, nobody can see, but he starts making hand gestures, a language known throughout much of the undercity of Corvosa and every major city as Thieves' Cant. The view pans out across the street, and there's a man in a flat cap that's watching the window, reading intently on Glorio's every motion. The vision turns in the dark hours of the night where the street lamps still flicker and shows Glorio's silhouette in making hand gestures. And then all he does is he holds up his left hand. And he lingers like this for a while. The thug across the street watches, nods his head, and he leaves.
How did I know? How did I know? The second he went to the window, I was like, no!
Yeah. I will applaud you though. That was a good complication.
Okay. We go back to actually Brianna, who is Brianna is joining Sephi, is she not? So
Basically, yeah.
we're gonna delay Brianna and have Dalibor go, because Dalibor, you were escorting the king and Grobaris to meet with Ornelos, Toph Ornelos,
Yep.
to kind of talk about the the wine and maybe introduce and your schmoozing. So you have a huge crew following you. It's you, it's the king, the king's 4 guards, it's Grobaris, his aide, his intern. And soon it'll be Brianna and Sephi and Arabella.
All right.
So I am going to move all of you.
Arabella might peel off when she sees like the group of people, but
Gonna do this. I will move you all down here.
In the down below places.
Yes. The guards just immediately spread out to the corners of the room as you enter in.
My scene went back upstairs.
And
Same. I went back upstairs.
you should be downstairs now.
I'm downstairs now. Okay. So what do we see in here when we enter besides? Because some of us haven't been in the room.
So the center, this is the ground floor of a 2-story, very high ceilinged room. And the center focus of this room is a constructed draconic skeleton that is probably about 20 feet tall and long.
Okay. So similar to the one we fought in Scarwall.
I think it would be similar to the one you fought here in Corvosa, which is bigger than the one in Scarwall.
Okay.
And it says on the plaque, if you're looking for the plaque, it says blue dragon skeleton. One very similar to what Kazavon might have been, or something to that nature. And down below in small print, it says donated by, and it says the Order of Benevolent Hearts. But you enter in and you can see the Seneschal is there, Toph is there, and there is one other person there, which
I don't recognize.
Well,
because it's not Suthaven, right?
It's not Suthaven.
It's the other dude.
But to recognize him, you could roll a nobility. If you have it.
I have mobility. 30.
You do recognize who this person is.
Okay.
His name is Caleb Valdemar. He's the acting head of House Valdemar. Okay. That is a Magnamar-based noble family, although it is even more active in the town of Sandpoint. You know, Caleb is extremely reclusive, and to find him here is somewhat of a surprise.
Okay. I will first introduce I will greet Lord Toph Ornelos first.
Mm-hmm.
Greet him in the standard whatever way we've greeted before.
As you enter and he sees the king enter, he turns and he raises his glass and he says, "King Endrin, it is good to see you here." And he looks over at the Lord Mayor and he kind of bows his head graciously and says, "And the Lord Mayor as well. 2 of the most powerful men in Varizia. Dare I say all the Inner Sea. My toast to you."
I'll join in the toast.
Okay.
And then I will greet him, and I will make polite introductions since he knows of them. And I will explain, these 2 gentlemen seem to know that you have had this blend of wine once before, and thought it would be wise to hear your opinions and thoughts.
His bushy beard kind of shuffles a bit, and he, as he sips from the glass,
and then I'll introduce myself to Valdemar after he has a response.
He says,
like, I'll literally step aside and let them have their conversation.
Oh, okay. So you kind of switch spots with Toph.
Yeah.
There. And you can just hear him as he turns to them and he says, "Yes, it's a very interesting red blend with a unique tang not present to most." And then you see he starts talking about, I mean, he's, he has knowledge on basically everything. So he starts talking to them about wine.
Right.
As you approach Caleb.
And I will just introduce myself. It's like, greeting, my name is Adalabor Malovra. I am a merchant and alchemist here in town. I recognize you and I welcome you to Korvosa on behalf of everyone here.
You can make, if you'd like to, this is kind of your first time interacting with Caleb, so if you'd like to get a feel for him, you can make a discovery check on Caleb.
I would like to make a discovery check.
Okay. It is a sense motive to analyze him. You could also pick up on maybe his strengths, his social strengths or weaknesses, or just kind of get a general feel for him analyzing him.
Yeah, I just want to kind of get a general feel so that I know how to approach him. You know, because much like Graberos was very obvious. I know this dude is a...
Chat has redeemed a complication.
That was going to happen.
Uh-oh, Dalibor.
Do you want me to roll first or wait?
You can wait.
Okay.
A red.
Like a Korvosan red or like a Scarwall red wine.
You see as you're talking, the wine glass slips out of one of the servers' hands as they're getting ready to hand the glass to Toph. You can try to make a combat maneuver check or a reflex save to grab the glass before it lands on Toph.
And splash damage might hit the king and Grobaris, which would spell a disaster.
I worked really hard to make sure that Scarwall wine got
redeemed a complication.
No! You know, just to be fair, guys, I've gotten more complications than anyone in this series. Just saying.
I think Rachel just got 5 in the beginning of this game.
4. Yeah, Rachel might be caught up. But she's also got 3 characters, so.
So yeah, combat maneuver or reflex save.
One of them got shanked. I feel like that's its own kind of complication.
What was it? A reflex save or a base attack bonus?
Combat maneuver, CMB.
Oh, where's that? It's been so long since I've done any. Where is it on my sheet?
Like your base attack bonus plus like your strength
over by my armor. There it is. Okay. Yeah, I guess we'll just do a reflex save. Oh. It's not due to a chaotic source, is it?
It is not due to a chaotic source.
I didn't know if the cards counted as chaotic sources. I mean, I don't know.
23. You grab the glass before it splashes, and your fingers just nimbly pluck it out of the air. And like it maneuvers a bit as you see like a drop, like is about to splash, and you're able to catch it. Like you're Spider-Man, like catching the tray of food. It is very, very impressive. And as you do, you see that there's a look in Toph's eyes. You can make a sense motive check. And it's to see which way the card goes. It's not part of the card.
Whether it's good or bad.
Yeah.
I was more worried about the wine.
You see Toph's eyes for a split second go wide and then they go back to normal. But you realize with a 37 that he does not like to get dirty. Like the wine splashing on him would have ruined his evening, his ability to kind of like, if there was disadvantage, it would have like inflicted some type of disadvantage on him. And then you hear like that impulse control voice in your back of your mind.
Yeah.
That's kind of like egging you on. You're like, oh, should I just knock over this plate on the table? Type of like impulse control. And I need you to make a will save. Or
wait, was there a third complication?
No. The sense motive was to see that he would have been upset with the wine.
Oh.
Had it spilled on him. That wasn't the card. This card is impulse control. You have to stop that inner voice from taking over and letting the wine spill on him.
Yep. Having
It is-
intrusive thoughts.
Yep, intrusive thoughts. That's
It
the
could
word
have been
I was looking for.
there couldn't have been a less likely person that would have been doing this.
Yeah. The paladin of order.
Yep. It is
Dalibor, if you fail this, you lose your paladin powers for a day.
It is a will save or an intimidate check to shout down the impulse control. To berate the intrusive thought from acting.
Do I at least get a bonus for this being a chaotic source?
I will say this would be a chaotic source.
Okay.
I'm assuming that's the will save, or
yeah, it's a will save. They're both the same number, but I get a bonus to the will save because of the chaotic source.
I will let you know because of your bonus from the chaotic source, you made it.
Jesus Christ.
Wow.
You do not let the wine spill on Toft. You are able to hold the glass. Whatever you're going to do with it after is up to you. Toft looks...
Chat has redeemed a complication.
I hate you all.
Looks relieved at your fast fingers. When your first roll for talking with Toft or influencing him is at a +2. Which is, that could probably help.
Or this could probably make it worse. Just so you know, I have infinite channel points. Just saying.
Yep.
Just
yep.
saying.
Oh,
Yeah,
I love that this one also. So you hold the glass and you feel a little tremor in your hand, and you realize it's not actually from your hand. It's kind of moving through your body. And much like poor Miles, your stomach begins to gurgle.
Oh no. He drew the shit yourself card.
It is a fortitude save, or I will say I would give you half your bonus for like your poison, because like you've kind of like taught your body how to fight off stuff, and you feel something roiling in your guts. It is a fortitude save or an intimidate check, again, to like force your body to like, no, this is not the time.
What is half my bonus to being immune?
+5.
Okay.
Chat has redeemed a complication.
Oh no. Oh no, Dalibor.
23 is still good.
23 is still good. I want to see what blue does. You like stop yourself from shitting, but you hear a
Let me guess. Now I have to make a
I
bluff
drew
check.
for blue. The card that I drew for blue is to spread gossip about a recent event that just happened. You can blame your fart on someone else with a diplomacy check or a knowledge nobility check, because you know one of these people here probably has a bad gas problem, and you could blame the fart on the dog. It's either diplomacy or knowledge nobility.
How high does he have to roll to blame it on the bone dragon?
I was gonna say it was just moving around, so it's got like squeaky bones.
I'll increase the DC by 10 if you want to blame it on like the bone shifting or something. Because that's like a lot harder to do. Or you could just blame it on a person.
You don't want to be known as Dalibor the party pooper.
No, it would be party tutor. What is the...
I mean, it could backfire on you with the whole whoever smelt it dealt it rule.
Well, no, part of me is like, whoever I blame is then going to be upset that they got blamed for something they didn't do.
Yep.
So, thus, we'll, I'm going to blame it on the house drakes that are in the building. Because there are house drakes everywhere.
Like that one.
What's that?
I like blaming on the house drakes. Yeah, that makes sense.
Huh.
Thanks for the Peter farts on the...
Yep.
Although I probably could have blamed it on the bone dragon. The bone skeleton.
Yeah, you blame it on one of the house drakes as one of them like flies away through one of the rafters.
But then I will just hand Toph his drink.
Thank you. Takes a drink.
And then I'll look back to Caleb. Majenko's eyes narrow. Majenko was in that room, wasn't he? He was in that room, wasn't he? He hasn't left.
Yeah, and he was eating hot dogs.
Arabella, your empathic link with Majenko, you feel severe embarrassment and mortification.
Uh-oh.
Dalibor, as all
buddy.
this shit is happening to you, you see two more people enter just now into this crowded room. But you hand your drink to Toph, and what would you like to do? Continue talking with Caleb?
Yeah, well, I'm still doing my sense motive to this thing. And we got a bot over in Discord, so that just happened. Or not Discord, in. Okay. So a 41 with a nat 20 to whatever the thing is to get information, to get insight on what would be good for him. On a discovery check, that's the word, discovery check.
Discovery check.
Poor Magento.
So, do you have any notes written for Caleb so far?
Wizard, Recluse, Head of Elamar Family, Magnumar Sandpoint, Arcane or Alchemy, and then it says hasn't, and then I can't read my own handwriting. I think it says Haggard, but I don't know what that really means.
Oh.
Haggard doesn't have gear?
That is,
I don't know.
He has a secret hobby that, if known, can be used to intimidate him. So you know about the alchemy and arcana, are good at conversations with him. You also know that those who demonstrate experience and knowledge of the shipping industry pique Caleb's curiosity, and you can use profession merchant for that.
Well,
so I think you have every skill that you could use to influence him as decent skills for you.
Yeah, they're both one. The merchant and alchemy are both one-off from each other. Do I know that one would be better than the other? Or are they both about the same? Or do I not know?
You know they're about the same.
Okay. Well, I know that there are other merchants at this party that probably can also talk about the merchant trade and ship trade just as well as me, if not better. However, I can guarantee there's nobody at this party that can talk alchemy better than me. So we're going to do alchemy. I'm not crafting it, so I'm going to use my reroll because I want this to be a good roll. It's better. $39 craft alchemy.
Okay.
To chat with him, and I'd be along the lines of, I hear you have understanding of alchemy and wanted to talk to somebody about alchemy, and I'm from family line of alchemists throughout history of Brevoy.
You do receive a bonus.
Chat is creating rumors at the event.
It's not necessarily wrong. I would.
Because he has a bias towards mages and alchemists. So that 39 is actually a 41.
Like a positive bias.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
He prefers to speak to mages or alchemists.
I am an alchemist.
You are.
Well, that's good to know.
So Caleb says to you, I heard that you were one of the brain children who concocted the cure to the Bloodville epidemic here in Corvosa.
I'll say it.
Do you also know anything about the shiver epidemic here in the city?
I do know a bit about it. I had a group of adventurers that were working on taking care of the situation and finding information and closing a ring down of some sort. I don't have gotten all the details yet. Some of them are here or were here somewhere.
But such a thing would not be prohibited here, this shiver epidemic, if vice taxes were properly paid for and permits were acquired for such a thing.
Yes, according to the laws of Corvosa, that is actually accurate.
I have an interest in expanding my shipping business to also diversify in the creation of medicines.
Oh, I am also a medicine man as well, a healer, in fact.
Though, unfortunately, I do know that medicines, poisons, and drugs all teeter upon a very fine line, and what is a medicine to one may be a poison to another. Therefore, I am interested in acquiring a vice tax permit to reduce the chances of liability for my future ventures.
Make a sense motive to see if he's just saying, I want to sell drugs and poison in town. And he's just making it sound good.
I don't know why, but that voice gets me.
Yeah. 23 on a sense motive. I mean, Dalbor doesn't really care too much either way.
He's certainly being sly about what he's saying, but you're not able to overtly pick out that he wants to sell drugs or he wants to sell poisons. Or what you get is he wants to have a vice tax, and then he wants to maybe might sell any of the three.
Okay. I will say, well, I do know that some poison or some drugs have been very well used in adventuring combat tactics as well. For instance, a Catapeshian drug I used to carry on me was used on multiple occasions to help with issues. So there is a market for those things if marketed properly. I myself have thought about doing the tax as well.
Interesting. Very interesting. I hear you have the ear of the king. Perhaps you may help me bypass some of this red tape.
That is quite possible. I could introduce you, although he is talking wine right now with Toph and the Lord Mary of Magdamar. But I could introduce you to the group if you're interested.
Oh, no. This tests the
limits of your social wants.
The limits of my social capacity. If you could just bring it up to him at some point,
I could do that.
I would be much obliged.
Do you by chance have any kind of proposals or anything you brought with plans of coming here? I could pass them along.
This was my effort to network, not necessarily to propose a formal business proposal. However, I do have the ability to return if such things are possible for me to pursue.
Of course. There are plenty of open buildings and markets, and I know they have, at my request, lowered some of the red tape for acquiring businesses here within town. Businesses and buildings, and establishing markets and growing the community. All things that we have already cut red tape for newcomers. That is in the works, so you could be amongst the first to do so.
That is excellent to hear. So you were successful in your did you roll your influence check for him?
I'm assuming that was the alchemy, but maybe not.
Yes, yeah.
The 42.
You were successful in influencing Caleb. And at this point Caleb is among the people in the party that are positively influenced.
Okay. Enough so that it does anything, or should we continue?
It provides a benefit, but
Okay.
his benefit is
Gotcha. Contingent.
secret.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Originally, my goal was to talk to Glorio because I knew Glorio was with Toph, or not Glorio. The other wizard.
Sutherland.
I was going to talk with him, and then he wasn't here. I was like, well, guess we'll go over here.
Well, Dalibor, that is to say, as we close out your actions this phase, would you like to excuse yourself and try to go find Sutherland?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay. You will eventually find him, Sutherland. I will move your character, but Sutherland is upstairs.
Yeah. I mean, I was playing in character. Dalibor didn't know he was down here, so it just worked out.
Yeah. Brianna. Oh, there's one more thing for Dalibor.
Yes.
That you notice. As you are speaking and you see some people have entered in, you can roll a perception check.
Perception. There it is.
Wow. Okay. You hear a door shut from upstairs and the footfalls of somebody walking upstairs. So if we're facing like the direction your token is facing, it would be to your right, which would be like north on the map.
Okay.
And the footsteps are walking around like this upstairs, and you hear somebody coming down the stairs. And you see coming down the stairs this man. Who walks by, looks to you, smirks without stopping, and continues down the hallway.
Do I recognize them? I don't recognize the token, but
a few moments later, you see looking up at the railing, because this where all these little pillars are, it supports the second floor, so there's like a balcony above.
Right.
You see your father comes out and kind of leans on the railing, and you can see he looks a little vacant-eyed, and he kind of lets out a sigh. Oh. And we can let you do with what you will on your next turn.
Okay.
Brianna, you and Sephi just enter where the king and the seneschal is, and you can see this room is
and there's a rumor
is hopping.
Yeah.
And in fact you hear these two speaking, and the half-orc girl says to the man in the suit, that's Dalibor. He's the one that sells love potions to spoiled noble children under the table. Do you think the Lord Mayor would let me buy one? And he just kind of looks over at her out of the corner of her eye and grunts.
I'll just file that away for later. And
Chat has redeemed a complication.
really,
This one's for Brianna.
Like we haven't even gotten started, Seven Tail, and you're already on me? Come on now.
So Brianna was talking to the intern?
I don't think
He
Brianna was talking.
Overheard.
the intern.
I think I just,
Over.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Hey, you're getting started. I'm getting started.
So Brianna, you know where your power comes from, but who do you worship?
Desna.
Desna. The yellow card is called Otherworldly.
Okay.
You could earn a god's favor.
Ooh.
Or you can see the beyond. You can make a bluff or a knowledge planes check.
My knowledge planes is only slightly better than my bluff. I'm gonna go knowledge planes.
Okay.
That being said, neither skill is exceptional by any means. So this will be knowledge planes.
Okay. What level or what's your highest level spell that you can cast?
6th.
6. You stop for a second. You feel like almost as if like a concussion had hit you, almost like starting to see stars. And you hear the sounds of chains being dragged across stone. And then the words, "Fine. I will take them back." Lose all of your highest level spells for the day.
Okay.
Does Seffi, because Seffi's with Brianna, does she see Brianna stop?
Yeah, I imagine Brianna actually kind of like stumbles slightly and kind of grabs a little tighter onto your arm as like a spiritual whammy just racks her for a moment.
Oh, are you okay? Are you getting another vision?
Depends. Do gods give you the middle finger?
Oh, well, I mean, none of them have given me the middle finger. Although, I don't know, I had blood coming out of my eyes just a little bit ago, so maybe, I guess that would be. If they're mean. Did another mean god talk to you?
Well, suffice it to say, of the two deities that have a big influence in my life, one of them just punished me a little bit.
Did you do something wrong? Or did you do something good and then like the opposite?
Well, it's kind of a love-hate relationship with this god, and that I love to hate them. But for some reason they've chosen me, and you understand how that goes. Like you're kind of, sometimes it's thrust upon you as opposed to you're in control.
Well, yeah, I don't know which god gives me powers, to be honest. So
That's fair.
but
That's fair.
none of them have really like directly ever talked to me though.
Well,
It's usually
mean-
like a cryptic vision or like not even sometimes a rhyme.
I have had some, I guess, I wouldn't say directly talking to, but sort of direct visions from Desna. Usually the other god likes to speak through their subordinates. Although the vision that we just had, if it was from then well, then apparently is more interested in taking a more active role, which is not good.
Yeah. Well, do you feel like you need a minute, or is there anyone I know, the Lord Mayor's assistant, I can introduce you, or we can find Neolandis, or get some wine.
Yeah, sorry, it's been a little distracting with everything that's sort of just kind of happened in the past 15 minutes or so. I suppose sometimes that's par for the course for us, but yeah, and actually I'll look around at this point. Is Dalibor still here? Has Dalibor left by this point?
He looks like he's just finishing his conversation with this person who you
Okay.
can barely see through the bones of the dragon. And then he looks upstairs. And you follow his gaze and you see Dalivor upstairs leaning on the railing.
Okay. Sepe, if you don't mind, I just have to quickly talk to Dalibor for just a moment, kind of let him know what's going on or keep him updated, and then I'll be right back here and we can, I guess, at this point
Well, why don't you go update him and then we can figure it out later. I'll get some wine.
Okay. Sounds good. And then as I walk behind Seppi, I'm just gonna hide in plain sight.
Okay.
With everything else going on, I don't want to deal with people at this point anymore. Let's see, that is plus. Oh, right.
Okay.
So, and then I'll move up to kind of stand beside Dalibor.
And that reminds me, and it doesn't apply to Brianna because you're actually hiding, but I do have that potion of true sight, so if there's anything weird that is standing out.
Yeah, you don't notice anything particular.
Okay.
And yeah, I'll just kind of sidle up to him, and then I'm gonna just sort of gently squeeze his hand, or gently kind of pinch him on the arm just to let him know someone is there.
Yeah, he turns to look.
And then I'm just gonna kind of whisper in his ear, Naveen and Miles are going with Arabella's entourage to save the Golden Gal. She was attacked by a Red Mantis assassin. and kidnapped.
Do I know that you and I have a common other language?
I don't know. Brianna only has Taldane and Shadow Tongue, or Common and Shadow Tongue.
Shadow Tongue, yeah. I will respond quietly, whispering in Shadow Tongue. I watched them leave. If they need help, I'm assuming they will contact us.
I believe so as well. Just wanted to keep you up to date.
Thank you.
And holler if you need me.
I will also whisper. I was like, it's very important we get the aid of as many influential people here as possible. It's the whole point of this. If you get the time to chat with people, get their favor.
Absolutely. Actually, for
Especially,
that,
I'm like, especially with the others having left and not being able to help.
Sure.
We need to work overtime on this.
I would like to look around to see where Ornar Reeves is at. Are they in this room?
Reeves.
That's out of character. Sorry, not.
You don't recognize who Ornar Reeves is. Remember, you were looking for him and you weren't able to pick up who he was. Although I think you didn't. Well, you didn't know who they were. You didn't make the check. I don't think it was said out loud who Ornar Reeves was.
It was not.
It was out of character that you learned. Yeah. So you're still not sure where Ornar Reeves is.
And I haven't, but I know Ornar Reeves was an Asmodeus lawyer.
Yeah.
So I guess, yeah, I'm probably trying to keep clock for somebody with Asmodean trappings.
And you could ask Dalibor if he's seen them, or ping your mental link. You have a link with Arabella, I think.
Actually, I will ask Dalibor. Do you know? I know I have some information on Ornar Reeves. I can try to speak to them. Do you know where they are?
Where have I seen them? Have I seen them since I've been here?
I think you would have saw him upstairs, but that was, I think, 2 phases ago.
Yeah. So that was a couple hours ago.
I'll say I last saw him upstairs. But if I see him, I will tell him you're looking for him.
Perfect.
Do I know he doesn't like me, or do I not know? Because I don't think I've ever had conversations with him, so I don't think I have an actual.
Yeah, you do not know that he doesn't like you.
Okay. I'll just say, if I see him, I will let him know you're looking for him.
Okay. And I guess I'll continue the search.
Okay.
And actually, with that being said, then I'll probably go up the stairs.
Okay. You are still stealthed, right?
Yeah, I think at this point, just to kind of maneuver as swiftly as I can through the party members, I might just continue sneaking, at least for the moment.
Okay, I'm going to move you upstairs, and you're looking again for Ornar Reeves. Whoa, that's Dalibor. That's not. So you go upstairs and you You can. It's less about. Well, you just go back. You go back up to where everybody was during the party.
Sounds good.
And you can start looking for him.
Okay.
This next phase. The top of phase 7. All of you hear another announcement is made. And it says, you hear Merciful Jagear's voice over booming through every wing, says, attention everyone. I'd like to announce that the auctions for the items that you have all been very interestedly looking at in our Gallery of Tyranny are now posted. The locations and the items that will be auctioned off. That is the Scarwell warning bell design and rubbing, Mithradar's wine rack, Mithradar's desk, 2 of the Scarwell era wine bottles, the draconic skeleton of the West Wing, the bloodstained battle standard, the screaming stone bust, the grimoire of infernal conquest, the pendulum of panic, the shattered soul gem, the eyes of the watcher, the replica of Kazavon's weaponry, and the Kazavonian scrying mirror. You can find the locations of all these items that are to be auctioned off in the front lobby with Weldon, the attendant at the front desk. Thank you. All right. And Steffi, you are first. Steffi, Brianna snuck off, said she'd be right back, and then she never came back.
Well, well, cool. She was gonna prep me. I guess Steffi does see Neil Landis over there. Is he in conversation?
Doesn't look like it, no.
Okay. So.
And you can see Dalibor actually looks like he's leaving, because Dalibor, I think, at the end of the last phase, you would
Chat is rewarding conquest currency.
Steffi, that's a Roomforged bonus.
Woo!
Because I'm not a monster.
All right. Steffi is gonna try to salvage her date, and she's gonna pick up a glass of wine for herself. And
Chat has redeemed a complication.
Wasn't me.
This is a complication for Steffi.
Because I am a monster. 7-tail fox.
7-tail, come on.
A green one.
I'm not saying.
Although I'll eat a spicy chip for everyone that gets redeemed on as revenge. You know, not to give an incentive. I mean, I was gonna eat one anyhow, so.
You feel a little tingle of like your magical senses.
Uh-oh.
Give me a sense motive.
Chat has redeemed a complication.
A spellcraft check.
Sense motive.
Okay.
35.
35. You see that Toph is casting magic on his wine glass.
Chat has redeemed a complication.
What?
I think the problem is Nick said that he would eat a hot chip for each.
I know, and
Well, that's
Steffi's trying to
redeemed.
fix her date. And
I mean, I was gonna eat the chips anyhow, so because they're delicious, they're hot as hell, but they're way, way tasty, way tasty.
You is
Chat
Seppi good
has
at healing?
redeemed a complication.
The full rainbow,
is Steffi good at healing?
like the actual healing skill.
Yeah.
That's one for every color.
Okay. You see, the intern is sitting there, and she, and she's sitting there, and you realize she's, kind of favoring one foot over the other.
Oh.
You can make a diplomacy or a heal check.
I think she will do diplomacy to make sure she has consent first.
Okay.
50.
50. Wow.
And she'll just go over and be like, I'm sorry, did you maybe step on something?
She's like, "Oh, no, these shoes are too tight, and I didn't think we'd be like standing and walking around. Normally at these events, like we get to sit down for a meal. We don't like stand and walk the whole time, and just my feet are kind of killing me. But you can't, like, the Lord Mayor can't know because he'll get all like whiny that I'm not like and attentive and like taking care of his needs."
Yeah. Oh boy, that's a conundrum because
As she says that in the background, you hear, "Write this down, intern."
And you see like her eyes like almost go bloodshot from like the pain as she like begins to walk. Where is the Lord Mayor on the map? Oh, right here. Okay. Um and your heart like pours out. This poor intern is running ragged. Her feet, like you see like the blood vessels kind of throbbing over the tops of the shoes
Yeah.
as she is in pain, as she like starts to walk closer to jot down these notes. And you feel a little sympathy for her and courage bubble up. You can try to buy her some slack by telling the Lord Mayor, "Hey, you're making me angry. She's upset. Give her a little bit of time." Or, "Lord Mayor, we can work this out." Which one would you like?
Boy.
Oh man, this is gonna
I'm
be...
giving you the lines on the card, and you get to choose. I'm not going to tell you what skills they are because I know which one you would pick.
Well, Steffi's not really confrontational.
Okay. So are you going to go with the "we can work this out" route?
Yeah.
Okay. Give me a diplomacy check. Another nat 20.
Oh man.
He's like, "Oh yes, yes." And he looks at her. He's like, "Oh yes, you can go take a seat. Give your notepad and pen to her. She'll jot down the notes for me."
Oh!
Oh.
This card is called an even worse deal.
Oh!
You can, this is the yellow card.
Yeah.
You can make a bluff check to like pretend that you're gonna like take these notes and be dutiful, or you can make a sleight of hand check to like write fake notes down. Like, are you gonna sit here and like take the notes? Which will like cost you your turn. You're gonna like find a way to like get lost with like a bluff to excuse yourself, or you're just gonna like write down bad notes and like change some of the things that the intern has been taking notes on.
And you see the intern hands you the notepad and the quill and says, "Thanks, I really appreciate this." And she leaves.
Well, the person I was considering talking to is this guy who works for the Lord Mayor. Well, I was going to get Neil Landis and then maybe come over, but I think Sephi will try the bluff check
Okay.
and maybe try to pass the notepad off to him
Okay, give me a bluff.
and be like, so have you had the opportunity, and Rachel forgets the guy's name, but Sephi knows it, to meet the Lord Seneschal of Corvosa? I could introduce you.
Oh no! I mean, it's still good.
I'll use, just because it's a 2, I'm going to use my reroll.
It's not like you're talking to a mover and shaker.
33.
He takes you up on your offer to meet the seneschal, and as you do, like, you easily slide the notepad or the book and the quill into his hand, and suddenly, like, he doesn't even realize, because you beat him by 13. Like, it's gonna be like minutes before he realizes that he's doing the job that you're supposed to be doing.
Yeah. Okay. So now Steffi's going to take the 2 wine glasses and she's going to go around so she doesn't run into anybody. Because those were all the complications, right?
All
I
4 of
shouldn't
them.
ask that. I shouldn't ask that
Yeah,
question.
don't ask.
And she'll be
Yeah,
like,
that's just asking.
she'll hand the 1 glass to Neil Landis and say, "Sorry, I got caught up in a bit of helping out the Lord Mayor's intern. Her feet are hurting. Do you want to go meet his assistant? He pretty much does all the day-to-day tasks of Magnamar."
Oh, yes, I can introduce myself. We can introduce to him. He follows you, takes the wine glass from you. So Sephi, you have been spending all night with Neil Landis, and there have been some bumps. You can attempt to make a discovery check on Neil Landis.
Okay.
It is knowledge local to do so. If you don't make it, or if you choose not to, you can blindly attempt to influence him.
I mean, I don't have knowledge local, so the most I could get is a 10.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, why did I use my... Well... I guess I'll try to blindly influence him.
Okay. So knowing that, having no idea what actual skills can be used to influence him, you get to pick one and roll it.
Well, I'm gonna go with diplomacy because that's her best. And she did just get him wine. Oh man, can I use my conquest currency? What's that do?
Gives you a +1 bonus. Stackable up to +5, depending on how many you've banked.
Okay, wow. Oh, I did. Did I use my other one though? I'm just gonna say I probably used the other one, so 34.
Okay.
Womp womp.
He follows you over to meet with this person. And at this point, you can see now that the Villani now is looking at this notepad and quill that he found in his pocket. And you can hear the Lord Mayor over his shoulder, somebody better be writing this down! And he just kind of sighs.
I suppose we should let you get to it.
Yes, I must perform the duties that our intern is incapable of. He looks over, and he's like, you can see he's like looking around for like a Magnamarian guard, and he's like, there's none to be found. So he just starts writing. You can see there's like a redness rising, like up above his collar, up his neck.
Yeah. Okay. She'll look at Neil.
You can see this job is beneath him.
Yeah. Well, maybe let's go look at some of the auction items.
Perhaps we can go look at the book with Weldon.
Yeah.
Okay. Follow Neil Addis.
Yeah, I'm like, where's Weldon? Front desk, right?
Front desk. Ah, Weldon says, Seneschal Kill Populus and Miss Thrain. Are you here to are you here to look at the auction items? And their destinations?
Yes.
He folds open a book, and you get to see the locations as a handout.
Okay.
I will give it for, I'll put it in yours, Nick, for the chat to see, but Dalwar does not know.
Okay. I have to highlight it because it's all the same color as the background.
You can see the list of the things that he called out over, but with locations under it.
Yeah.
I don't see the locations.
You have to highlight it because it's the same color as the background. It's underneath the picture.
The locations are there.
Yeah, they're underneath the picture, but you have to like click and drag and highlight to see it.
Got it. Absalon. Taldor. Oh, I've never been to Taldor.
Aura, that's the capital, he says. Seneschal says.
So you have to go to these locations to bid on these items?
Indeed, Weldon says.
Ooh, night all.
However, everyone here, there's nobody here at this event that is of modest means, so the means to get to these locations is assumed to be a simple task.
Oh, of course. Is there anything that you're considering buying?
Who are you saying that to?
Neil Landis.
No. He says it flat out, no. Although that scrying mirror has been brought up to be an item of interest to some people I know, but I have no intention of going to Nidal to bid on it or for any of these items.
Yeah, that mirror's kind of spooky. It's pretty though. The Shattered Soul Gem sounds interesting.
Have you been to Ustalav before?
I have not.
Hmm.
I'm not. I don't think Steffi's been to any of these places except for Chiliax.
Does Sephi have nobility? She can roll it, although I don't know if her nobility is good. She might not be able to get it.
It's not good.
But there's a
Well.
location that's relevant. Nope.
I mean, yeah.
No. Not even close.
Nope. I mean, the Grand Lodge.
Yeah.
She could probably. I think they've been to Absalom. I mean, I could probably easily get to Absalom, the Grand Lodge, and if you needed a wine rack.
The
And
wine rack is at Taldor.
oh, the wine. Oh, what's that? Oh, I didn't highlight at the top. Oh, the warning bell.
Do any of these items interest you? The Seneschal says. They're all curiosities to me, but I have far too much I'm involved with to take time away to go to an auction somewhere across the world.
I just the Shattered Soul Gem. I'm sure my sister would be very interested in the Grimoire.
Steffi, I think you realize as you're looking at this list, you have looked at none of these items in the gallery.
Yeah. Should we go take a look at, I don't know, just to see it, the Soul Gem? And maybe the book?
Sure. I don't know where it is.
Well, she'll look over at the guy at the desk. Do you know where these two items are in the gallery?
The Shattered Soul Gem and the Grimoire of Infernal Conquest. Hmm. You see, he pulls a book out from under the desk and starts flipping through it.
I guess we could actually go take a look at the mirror too. Make sure it's the same one as my vision.
The Grimoire of Infernal Conquest is on the second floor southeast wing. And the Shattered Soul Gem is you're on luck in the same area.
Oh. Right, well, let's make our way there.
So both of you go upstairs.
Yep.
And you have been in the southeast wing. That's this room down here.
Oh, okay. And Sheila's there.
Yes. Neil Landis is following you into the room. As you enter, you look and you see what looks like a gemstone right here.
Oh.
You can see it says the Shattered Soul Gem, a gemstone that contains a fragment essence of one of Kazavon's loyal servants, forever trapped in a cycle of torment and servitude. As you're looking at the gem, you can see there's a slight crack along the side of it. And you can roll a perception check.
Eight.
Nice. Nothing. It's a pretty gem.
Safi will kind of like
Let's
whisper.
see if Neil Landis can
You can certainly try.
Let's see if Neil Landis can salvage this situation. Nope. You two dopes are staring at this gem, and they're like, "Wow, pretty gem."
Oh, kind of a little bit creepy to have like somebody's spirit trapped inside of it, though.
Agreed.
But
Although par for the course with what we know of Kazavon.
yeah, it's true. That's kind of why I'm like, these items are interesting, but I don't think I'd want to ever own any of them.
Are you gonna look for the Grimoire of Infernal Conquest?
Sure. Is that
Okay.
over here?
As you move there, yes, you do see there's a plaque that says the Grimoire of Infernal Conquest right here. It says the Grimoire of Infernal Conquest. And then in the little descriptive panel beneath it, it says this tome said to be penned by Alasnith, Runelord of Wrath, that served as her one-year journal into her reign over Bakrakhan and her ongoing feud with Karzug.
Steffi will kind of point at this one and be like, this might actually be a good purchase.
Oh, where was this one going?
Cheliax, which I have been to. I mean, I could get there.
The West Crown.
Does it say like what the starting bid on it is?
Nope.
I mean, I would think that maybe like Dalibor, Arabella, or my sister Irie would probably be useful to them.
Well, it says that it was penned and talks about her conflict with Karsug.
Mm-hmm.
So it might reveal what exactly we could be facing.
Yeah. Or maybe like a weakness that he has.
I don't think it'd just be valuable. I think it'd be invaluable.
Well, we could go. I have some money.
We should talk to the others after this.
Okay.
So, Sephi, this phase, you are speaking with Neil Landis, kind of bouncing around the museum and looking at some of the gallery items.
Mm-hmm.
With this, you have successfully influenced Neil Landis. And the evening is salvaged.
Hooray.
After Sephi is Arabella. Arabella, you entered down below to the room where you see there is a bunch of people. What do you do? Do you go there, or are you going to go somewhere else? You also heard the announcement overhead and a lot of other things.
Is that dragon skeleton real? Or is it a replica?
You can make an arcane.
Oh, I'm like, why is that so low? Because I'm looking at Sephi's sheet. Oh, hang on. 42.
It is, in fact, real. And although it is it is not as big as the Kazavon dragon, this dragon would at least be a very old or maybe even ancient dragon, blue dragon. Which is still considerably powerful.
Yeah.
Powerful enough that it would be a challenge for you and the heroes of Corvosa to face.
Mm-hmm. He's gonna make a mental note of that, and that is for auction.
I just realized why you were thinking that. Oh my god!
Are you gonna go look where?
Oh.
Yeah, I think she's gonna deviate and go to the front to look where.
Okay. You can go ahead and
The
move
army
yourself
starts
to the
anew.
front.
It's been a while since we remembered Arabella's army of the dead.
Yeah. Can I make like a check to try to kind of memorize?
I would say you can make an intelligence or a linguistics check to memorize the list.
I'll do linguistics.
Wow.
35.
Yeah, you are able to commit this. After viewing it for a short time, you are able to commit this list to memory.
Okay. She is going to.
So that particular one is going to, the skeleton is going to Osirian to the Ruby Prince's grand auction.
Okay. She can talk to her mentor about that. Maybe send him there.
Or go with him there.
Yeah. Trying to think. So originally I was going to go to Sullivan, but I didn't realize he was in the other room. So I think she's going to go downstairs.
You are downstairs.
Yeah, or in this other section of the room and see who's there that she can talk to, knowing that they need to talk and
Chat
influence
is
with
rewarding
people.
conquest currency.
Arabella,
you got a hero point.
Whoa.
Yay, Bentley.
That's a Pharasman priestess.
Yep.
She spoke with him before. Jagear.
Yep. Looks like Jagear is talking with these two.
Okay.
Oh, man. What if influencing Jagari will get him to not auction something off for us?
Uh,
Right? Because he's on the list of people we can influence.
He is.
he is. Sure, she'll try to insert herself in the conversation.
Okay.
I think I had an edge on this guy too.
Oh, who's that guy? He looks
The
cool.
Yanderhoff.
Oh, yeah, that guy.
Is she the lady whose sister we killed? Or daughter?
No.
No, okay.
You can make what is the check to know who she is?
Chat is rewarding conquest currency.
For Brianna. Hero point.
For her.
Yeah.
Give me a second. Google work. Nobility.
Thank you, Bentley.
$26.
She is Lady Scaranetti.
Chat is rewarding conquest currency.
Oh, thank you.
Whoa. Everybody gets a prize.
Get a hero point. Get a point.
She kind of looks at you.
Get a point.
Yeah, you can see also Jagear and the other dwarven lady looks at you as you approach.
I just wanted to say, is it Lord Jagear out of character?
Yeah, he is a noble.
Lord
Yeah.
Merciville.
I just wanted to say, Lord Merciful Jagear, that your list for auction is very intriguing.
Well, yes, as it stands right now, while the Gallery of Tyrrany takes up 2.5 wings of our museum, which, while the history of Scarwall and Casavon and his reign over Belkson is fascinating, we simply cannot sustain such a huge draw in the museum, and we have many other exhibits that we need to show. Variety.
Of course, and I'm assuming you switch out artifacts as the years go on.
Indeed.
And they're all being transported to different locations?
They are, yes. The list is with Weldon at the front desk.
Yes, I took a look. I think it would be interesting at one point to maybe do an auction within Corvosa. Could potentially be the next party you throw.
Well, that's certainly possible. I scoured my contacts to form this list, and I had something of a auction or bidding war before even determining the auctions. He looked kind of, you can see Lady Evangeline looks and says, "That's very wise. You're maximizing profit for your relics. You're earning an amount before you're earning coin on this before even your take of the auction."
You were auctioning off who gets to have the auctions. Wow.
They auctioned off who gets to have the auctions.
Yeah, it's ingenious, really. Arabella will kind of look over at its Lady Scarnetti.
She looks at you.
Is there anything that piques your interest? For the option?
Yes, getting away from you. Is that wet horse I smell? And she just like walks away.
You
Of
can
all the
see
characters at this party,
Merciful,
that was the wrong one for her to do that too.
Merciful's jaw drops as you say that, and Miss Evangeline just kind of, Lady Evangeline is just kind of like silent.
Arabella actually like lets out a chuckle and was like, that was an adorable insult.
You can see the dwarf steps up and he says, "Yes, well, we are well known and unfortunately accustomed to the pervasive racism
Chat is
against
creating
the
rumors at
Shawanti
the event.
here."
Nice. Nice. I dig it.
Yes, Corvosa does have some flaws, but as does any civilization.
You see the dwarf says, "I can understand her frustration. I had heard earlier that there was a Shawanti man trying to gain access to this party. Tall, bald, brusque man. And he had taken the list. And they were only just able to recently recover it. What did he say his name was? Krojan. Krojan eats what he kills."
I don't think there's much validity to that rumor if it's the same Trojan that I know. He is not interested in relics nor reading.
And Selena shakes her head and responds, "Yes, I don't think that's the case either. I had heard that it was targeted by the Cerulean Society, and that it was the focus of a one-armed man who was attempting to break into the museum earlier this morning."
That would be far more believable.
Merciful just is like, in the past 2 minutes, his head has started to spin. And he just kind of like, you can see he takes out a handkerchief from the breast pocket of his suit and he dabs his forehead and he says, "Yes, well, if you'll excuse me, I need to make my rounds and ensure all the exhibits are safe and sound."
Of
and
course.
He bows briefly and walks away briskly.
I do a sense motive to see if there was something like specific that triggered him.
Yes. And since you were also trying to did you want to roll for your interaction with him? Were you trying to influence Jagear, or did you want to talk to somebody else?
I think I'll try to influence him.
Okay.
So is that also a sense motive?
You can, it's a sense motive to roll a discovery check on him.
34.
Chat is creating rumors at the event.
That is funny.
Wow.
Let's see, who's...
Sorry.
This man comes over He's
Oh,
probably
gosh.
somebody brusque enough to make that rumor. And he says, I couldn't help but hear some disparaging speech over here directed in your direction. And I must say, I have heard she is like one of those grade school, those foundling children. She speaks hatred and ill of that which she actually likes.
Arabella
I'm
nods.
sure it would be looked upon well in her circles if she was known to have such affections for wet horses.
That is a very astute observation. I don't believe that we've met, though.
Iliodor Grigorovich,
Oh.
diplomat of Brevoy, representative of the King Regent of House Sortova.
Arabella will do like a nod and a small curtsy and be like, Lady Arabella da Costa, hero of Corvosa.
I know who you are.
Well, seems like I am building a reputation.
Indeed, indeed. Far and wide, all the heroes of Corvosa have been heard of.
Well, that is good. Welcome to Corvosa. Have you... One of our heroes is from Brevoy.
What a coincidence.
Have you had an introduction?
I have been speaking with another Brevik contact of my own here. But more interested in that, I have been sampling the foods and drink of this distant country from my homeland. I am something of a connoisseur of both, and I must say that if I could get another glass of that luscious red, it would be the crown to my evening.
Well, you should certainly do that, although they are auctioning off 2 of the bottles.
Indeed. If King Noleski allows me to travel again for such non-professional business, I would be most delighted.
Well, because Arabella hasn't memorized, she'll tell him the location. I'm trying to look it on the list. I think that's in... Oh, what is it? I thought that was like someplace closer, but now I can't see it. Dalibor has bottles though, right? Oh, here we go. Oh, Derma? The Cursed Merchant Lord's auction?
Druma. Oh,
Derma.
good. I shall go take a look at the list, he says, as he excuses himself.
And yes, you're pretty sure that Dalibor kept some for himself.
So Arabella, you can roll on who you'd like to influence.
Okay. Jagear left though, or can I still
They
influence
both
him?
left, but you can choose one and you can make a roll.
I almost want to choose that guy that I just talked to because I don't know when I'm going to talk to him again.
If you'd like to analyze him to know what skills you could have rolled, you can make a knowledge geography check. But this guy is a foreigner from a land far, far away, and it's difficult.
Only a 24.
You did not make it.
Well, he did say a connoisseur of food,
Yep.
so I'm assuming that would be like profession cook, which I don't have. Do I just roll blindly?
Whatever it is
Yep.
to
You just
host
roll
parties.
blindly.
I guess. I think I'm gonna do a bluff because because he was the type of person that came over and like started talking shit about somebody.
Yep.
Oh, he's not from Corvosa. Oh, but I can use a hero point. So I'm
And
gonna use a hero.
after this roll, we'll move to Dalibor because we're getting close to time.
Yeah. The hero point lets me +5
Reroll a
to charisma.
charisma-based check.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna reroll it. Ah.
Can I offer the use of this as a reroll to allow her to roll again?
That's just for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you're not sure if that succeeded or not. But that is going to be your check for this phase.
Okay.
Dalibor.
I go looking for Suthaven.
So
I would end up going where I wasn't the previous round. I was upstairs in that one hallway with everyone else, and he wasn't there at the time. So I would probably go to one of the other locations.
Okay.
Looking for him. And I think that was we went from downstairs to upstairs, the upstairs hallway, and he wasn't up there, correct?
You are right now up. You went from upstairs to downstairs.
Okay. And then over.
Yep, and then over.
And so we haven't been in the downstairs here since the very beginning.
We're right. You were talking downstairs in the other wing where all the artifacts are for the exhibit when you were when you did the verbal duel.
Right. And he wasn't there, and then I went upstairs for a short while. Or I went downstairs for a short while.
Yep.
I would just go to whatever room I haven't been in yet, because I haven't seen him in either of those rooms, and I haven't seen him here. So I'm guessing we're circling each other.
Okay. Well, go ahead and move yourself.
All right. I will. I mean, I don't really know where I'm at. Other than, like, I know where I'm at, but I don't know if I'm upstairs or downstairs or what rooms. So is this the room
You're
started
downstairs. You are downstairs. This is the first floor.
Okay. And this is where I started? At the very beginning, I believe.
Started when?
At the beginning of the whole thing.
At the beginning of the whole thing, you were escorted upstairs to the second floor balcony.
Okay. So I haven't been in this room yet. So yeah, I'll walk through looking for him.
Okay.
And apparently I don't see him.
Yep. So you're gonna go upstairs?
Yeah.
I'm assuming you're just gonna search until you find him. So
yeah, unless I see someone or somebody grabs me or something like that.
The only thing you saw on that floor was you could see Arabella was talking to Lady Evangeline and the Yanderhof High Priest.
Okay.
And that a woman that was with them you could see was briskly walking away from them.
All right.
But you come up the stairs and yes. Okay.
Oh, there's Sephi. Oh, that's not Sephi. Who's that? She looks familiar.
This person?
Yeah, she looks familiar. Is that a player character?
Yeah, that's Brianna.
Oh, that's Brianna, right. And that's Sutherland right here, right?
Yes.
Is he talking to someone?
He looks like he's in casual conversation with someone. Yeah.
Do I recognize this someone at all?
Yes, you spoke to this woman earlier in the night.
Oh, she's the alchemist looking for an alchemist
Yes.
person. Right.
In fact, you can hear that they are currently having a conversation between the two.
Gotcha.
Matt, if you look at her on your intrigue moment.
Yeah, Lady Selena Evangeline? No,
No.
not Lady Selena. Where's my notes? Headmistress Eliasa Lorang, headmistress of the Corvosan University.
She looks up at you. You're Dalibor.
Yes, it is nice to meet you again. How have you been enjoying the party?
It is good. It is good. Have you found anyone that might be interested in joining the college?
I haven't asked specifically, but I did just get done with a rousing conversation with a Lord Caleb Valdemar, who is looking to send people here and maybe spread his horizons to the city of Corvosa.
Oh, that might be interesting.
Sutherland interjects and says, yes, Lady Larone was sharing with me the desperate need for learned academics to teach at the University of Corvosa. That the academy should not be the only establishment able to teach arcane theory or theory in general. And in this particular philosophy, her and I are in agreement.
I just have a hard time trying to figure out why you have to release an imp into our fair city in order to graduate.
No, I wholeheartedly agree. I take it you've met Sutherland. You've been having a conversation.
Yes. Out of all of the people here, he was my top prospect. I do hope that you want to take up my offer and teach at the college, dear Sullivan.
Sutherland is kind of stroking his beard. Well, my duties are very. My duties ask much of me at the Arcanist Circle and the Wheel Unbroken. It would require.
Perhaps just a guest lecturing appearance, maybe once a week for a few hours, or maybe once every 2 weeks. We do not need a lot of time. I'm sure I could find other well learned members of the community, such as you, Dalibor, or maybe some of your other associates that would want to come teach on, a needed basis, a special, uh, like a TED talk.
Oh, well, as I spoke earlier, I'd be more than open to helping at the school and helping to teach that. I'm sure my father would, as well as my associate who works at the other shop here in town would all be more than welcome, although I cannot speak for them. However, I look at Sutherland. Sutherland, I would assume that there are plenty of younger prospects as well that are very learned in the teaching academics that could make themselves a name from the what's the name of the group? Where is it? From the Arcanist Circle that might also be willing to come. Would I be incorrect in saying that? Well, I doubt I'm the only alchemist that's part of the Arcanist Circle.
Lady Larong was imparting to me, she was looking for someone with a particular level of experience and ethos to teach at her university.
Ah,
Is that correct, Miss Larong?
Yes. We want to have people that are pleasant, uh, intellectual in their pursuits, and just, and she kind of like leans in. I would like
Experienced?
it to be a goodly person, someone that has the concerns and the well-being of the students, the stories that you hear out of the academy. What was the latest one I heard? One in every 10 applicants or children die before their 4th year at the school. That is terrible. And then I hear others, well, of course they have to, otherwise the necromancers can't learn as well. It is just magic and learning should be elevated in our fair city rather than uh, left to Toff's hands.
well, perhaps between myself and my father and Sutherland here, perhaps we could rotate, and that would accommodate our schedule and your schedule.
Oh,
I look at Sutherland as like a query, like, and that could be a benefit to the Arcana Circle as well.
Make a diplomacy check.
Can Lady Larung aid Dalibok?
Sure.
+2.
A 30. Darn that 2 on the dice.
That aid is something that made a difference in this. He says, well, if we're willing to rotate responsibilities and, of course, the flexibility in my duty to Kirmaga, given some recent developments in the city where it has further destabilized, are understood, I suppose I could perhaps come out maybe once a month to teach theory.
She gets all excited. Oh yes, yes. This is great news. Please stop by the university. We will get the papers signed. And like she's like almost like vibrating with giddiness. She goes, the amount of things that we all can learn and discover. Oh, this is such a great moment for the school.
Perhaps there's something I may yet bring back to the Arcanist Circle to share with my peers.
I will let the players know that because of that role in convincing him to join along with Dalibor and Daladad,
And
you
possibly a
have
4th. I've got to talk to the NPC.
you have a benefit that will be discovered later, but she has been influenced positively.
Yay!
I will also let you know that this was a 2-for-1. You were also able to successfully influence Sutherland.
That was the hope. I was hoping I could get 2-for-1. You read my mind.
Sutherland, usually the benefit for him is extending membership to the Arcanist Circle. However, with you and Arabella already being members of the Arcanist Circle, this could potentially extend to an additional further favor from him.
Excellent. That was my hope today. It's like, well, he's here, and like he was waffling on what he was gonna do due to this invasion, and I was like, I really need to get him on our side more. Oh, thank goodness.
All right. And with that, we're going to move out to the bottom of the round and the bringing up the end of the evening's festivities with Brianna. Brianna, being where you are right now, you've heard a lot of that conversation, but you are looking for someone.
Yeah. Did okay, yeah, Dalor kind of
I came
followed
up
me
from
in here.
downstairs.
Okay.
Did I see the dude she was looking for?
You can make a what?
Like a wisdom check to remember or something? Maybe wisdom's not that good, but
Perception based off of sound.
What was the recognize for Reeves?
It profession lawyer or knowledge religion.
make that to recognize if I saw him.
To pick out him, yeah. To pick him out amongst and recognize him.
Religion of a 28.
Oh. That is enough.
You did see him walking down the stairs as you were walking into this room.
Okay. I would just whisper to Brianna because she's right there. Like, Reeves went downstairs.
Thanks. And I'll head downstairs.
I'll be like, tall man wearing blah, 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 blah.
Perfect.
Brianna, you have been searching for this person all night. All night. Since the moment you got onto the deck, the porch, where the pre-event was happening, I remember you trying to find Orner Reeves.
Right.
And now you go down the stairs. And he described Reeves to you, Dalibor did. You see somebody matching that description right next to you.
Oh no, he's next to Tuttle. Oh no!
And dear Tuttle, that is why. Or he goes, and dear Zendarholm, that is why Tuttle here and the other followers of Abadar are charging hard-earned coin to those that are injured in the travesties that have befallen this city, while the Church of Abadar has done, or while the Church of Asmodeus has done nothing but use our magical resources to keep our guards, our citizens, and indeed our fellow nobles safe in body and mind. Coin can buy some protection, but coin should not buy you the services of a god. That is what faith is for.
As you can see, Tuttle is fuming, and he says, this is an attack, an oversimplistic attack on our religion.
Yes, it is. Because your religion takes money from people for services that you should do to see the city benefit.
And yet you ignore our 3-step philanthropic programs that we have outreaching the poorer sections of the city.
I've seen your program. It's 3 steps, but they look like a pyramid with all the money flowing to the top, where you and your church are.
Don't let this silver-tongued devil fool you, Miss Zenderholm, Lady Zenderholm. Might I remind you that the Church of Asmodeus were staunch followers of Iliosa.
Iliosa was a worshiper. We did not know what she had plans. We would gladly give our lives for Asmodeus, much as you would give your lives for Abadar. But we would not give up our lives to see a tyrant fulfill, well, fulfill the seats of your God's golden throne.
I would like to interject in there at some point during all of this.
You can see that it is getting more and it is growing more and more. It's getting more and more hostile between the two.
And he goes, and Tuttle, your
Gentlemen.
church publicly announced support for Iliosa. While we were duped, you did so willingly.
Gentlemen.
Ah, Brianna.
My
Miss Shadekist, perhaps you can talk some sense into this silver-tongued contract forging fiend.
Why, Mr. Tuttle, that is a wonderful idea, and I will actually take his arm, or I will offer my arm to the Asmodeus, to Reeves, and be like, shall we discuss in a more congenial manner?
Ah, yes, I believe that I have heard all of the half-truths and straight-out lies that Tuttle
Chat
can
is creating
manifest.
rumors at the event.
Didn't you already create a rumor this game?
It's true.
Okay.
I know I did earlier in this game, but it wasn't like anything.
I think all three of us did.
Yeah.
I have not.
So if he's allowing to, I'm just going to escort him over here a little bit, so we're just a little bit out of earshot.
He will easily be led away from Tuttle's side.
You hear Tuttle exploding in the background saying, "You cannot possibly believe this. Our organization is a reputable and established and accredited organization." And then you can hear Jagear kind of coming in and saying, "Mr. Tuttle, please."
Maybe I should have just overthrown Tuttle and gotten it over with.
Actually, I'll look around a little bit as being kind of like trying to be a little conspiratorial, and Aline is like, so I do have to ask.
Yes.
Understanding both of the religions have different aspects, do you just continue the arguments to get under his skin more than anything, or
Oh yes, the way his jowls wobble and the spit flies out of his mouth when he gets angry. Oh, it's just like it is like the bells during the noonday prayers.
and I'll actually giggle a little bit in spite of everything, because it's like, just to find out that he's basically trolling Tuttle is kind of
it's great.
is a bit humorous. Speaking of the city and current events and whatnot, I'll be blunt with you. There is another danger approaching the city. Apparently, we have very little time to breathe, so to speak.
Yes, the people peddling the drugs. I have made sure that the priest and the acolytes have been healing those that have been hurt by the effects of this new strain of shiver that has been discovered.
And I appreciate that wholeheartedly. In fact, I am actually part of my task as far as the the Lord's healer is to um, create a sort of a hospice or hospital of sorts to help people in general who don't necessarily need to be of a certain faith in order to be healed if healing is required. Sounds and admittedly, it sounds like you and your Asmodean clerics and whatnot have been perhaps donating a little bit to that as well in one way, shape, or form, which is wonderful. After all, a healthy society is well, better than a dead one.
I agree with that.
There are other things coming afoot as far as dangers tied to historical facets of this area, this land, that we have just admittedly become somewhat aware of. And we are looking for what support we can try and find to help us defeat this and save the city yet again from an imperiled danger.
And I understand, yes, you reach out to the Church of Osmodius because we want to see the city prosper and not deplete the coffers by offering healing to those that need it. And then he turns around and looks back at you.
And I
makes
will
sense.
And I try to bite my lip so I'm not smiling, so Tuttle does not see me smiling as I'm sitting there and trying to show as earnest a conversation as I can have. But there's probably a little grin that creeps in.
Chat is creating rumors at the event.
There it is.
Oh, what now?
There's the rumor. He's like, so
as you shout, as Reeves shouts over, you can hear Tuttle, who's almost barking with rage.
Chat is
and then
creating
you hear,
rumors at the event.
You hear Lord Jagear saying, "Mr. Tuttle, I care not for what sort of childish rivalry you and Mr. Reeves have at Eel's End, but you will not bring such debauchery here into my establishment." Tuttle storms off.
So, Brianna, I'm assuming you're trying to influence?
Yes. So basically, what I'm kind of boiling it down to is like I don't necessarily feel the need to conceal things. I understand your church has a certain reputation, and it's wonderful that you're working to modify that. I understand. I mean, don't get me wrong. I understand that there may be bargains and whatnot at play, but at the end of the day, your God is a beacon of order. If and a beacon of order and has birthed one of the biggest civilizations in Golarion.
Yes.
And while I don't necessarily agree with your church's methods necessarily, understandably, if the civilization gets burned to ash, then it's kind of hard to have one.
Yes, I do tend to keep my stuff in Corvosa. I hate to see it gone.
Well, we are beseeching those different people of power like yourself to see and potentially negotiate aid in our upcoming endeavors against this new threat that is looming large and fastly setting their sights on Corvosa yet again. Can we count on you to assist in the protection of Corvosa, if for no other reason than to stick it to Tuttle?
I do enjoy the idea of sticking it to Tuttle. Do you know, have you made the check before to know what can be used to influence him?
I have a note +4 versus Orner Reeves. So
Okay,
I
so
think
you get a
I must have
+4.
I think I made some sort
Okay.
of roll on him earlier.
It was right before the game. We got to do one on anybody at the party.
Yep. Oh, and that's what you did.
Yeah,
Okay.
because
And
I
that's
think
why
I
you've been
got it
trying to find him the whole
Yeah.
time.
right. Yeah.
So you know that you can roll knowledge religion, profession lawyer, or diplomacy.
I would like to do diplomacy because that's my best of those skills.
Okay.
That's what I'm best at.
So diplomacy +4.
Okay, so that is a total of, okay, so that'll be a 17. And then
You
as-
actually get an additional +2 bonus because you used religion to help him belittle Tuttle.
okay, I like that. And then hero points in this regard can be used for these kind of charisma checks, right?
Yeah.
As a reroll, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, as a reroll. Okay. So not as adding a bonus, just as a reroll.
Correct.
Just verifying.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. I would like to spend a hero point. I'm going to try and reroll that.
Okay.
Really?
And that's with your +6?
Yeah, because I have a +13 normally, and so with the +6, it's +19. I guess I do have more hero points because chat has been very generous to me in the past game.
Yeah,
and
you
this
haven't
game,
used any of them.
and I haven't used any of them yet. Could I try burning one more hero point on a reroll?
But yeah,
Yeah.
I would
Is that
say.
allowed, or is it only one per?
No, I don't think there's a limit.
People have burned multiple hero points during the actual campaign on a single thing, I think.
Yep.
That's fair. I'm gonna try one more time then.
Okay.
There you go.
Nice.
All right, I'll take that. That's good.
He goes, I can tell that you need the church's help. Please, I want to show you how I can help you, but I cannot do it here. Will you come with me to the doors? I have to be outside of this building to enact the aid.
Okay.
So he brings you outside.
I will say, as maybe part of the negotiation or whatnot, as a little icing on the cake, I will offer up the idea that if once the hospital gets up and running, as another way to help the Asmodeans show that they have good faith in the community, like if he wants to send some of his healers there to help heal people, like, that might be a way to sort of get his foot through the door a little bit too.
You see he walks outside and he looks around and casts a summoning spell. And you see a Aranis appears. He goes, "Fly to Citadel Varade. Tell Lictor Severus de Vry that Corvosa needs the aid of the Order of the Nail. They will augment the guards, and the acolytes will work for. What title do you go by, Brianna?
Oh, well, I'm just the king's healer, like physician. I'm not a.
The acolytes will report to the king's healer, goes by the name of Brianna, to help outfit and work at the hospital that is being built. Then you see that Aranis bows, and then the wings spread out and almost look like they're like outlined in like a shimmering fire as it takes off into the sky, flying towards the direction of Citadel Varade. He goes, hopefully that will show and prove the ally that you have made.
Thank you. I will inform the king.
He nods.
And I'll offer my hand to shake.
He shakes it as well. I will let you know your 27 would have succeeded.
Okay.
But the 33 gave you the 2 successes you needed to gain his benefit. So that was a very well spent hero point.
Sweet.
And with that, that ends phase 7 and ends the festivities for the night. The party is winding down already throughout phase 7. Some people were leaving. The king had departed. And the voice of Jagear sounds out throughout the facility again and says, "Thank you all and everyone for attending this gala sponsored by the Order of Benevolent Hearts, the Gallery of Tyrrany. I'd like to remind all of you that this gallery is held to the boon and benefit of society, and remembering that the history of Kazavon, rooted in tyranny, reflects that which the usurper queen Iliosa Arvanxi performed here in the city in her duties, and that such missteps are to be avoided in the future. We are all working together in harmony to make Corvosa, no, even Varizia, a better place. And we'd like to thank all of you for joining. Good night." And with that, we can kind of have a tab of how all of you did this evening. Influencing military and law enforcement, the martial support of the city, you were able to influence 4 of the 6 potential people there. Influencing governmental support, nobility, and political leaders, you were able to influence 5 of the potential 8 that were there. Influencing religious leaders, the faith-based support of the inner sea, you got 3 out of 4 influenced.
Oh,
nice.
And for arcane and scholarly leaders, was Foxglove influenced?
Foxglove, let me open her up. Only got 2 of the needed 3.
You were able to influence 3 out of 4 of the magical support. And How about Lady Nerodin?
Lady Nerodin.
I know who that is.
Missed it by 1.
Okay. For the economic and mercantile leaders, you got 1 out of 3, which was Lady Deverin, which you managed to get through Grobaris and influence both of them. The other 2 were Lady Nerodin and Tuttle. And then finally, foreign ambassadors and outsiders. Unfortunately, you did not get any of them. There are 2. And I think Callus Revo did not get influenced, correct?
Let me look. I do not believe so.
Only would have had like
+1 plus
6 more characters.
8 plus 6.
We did pretty good on the other ones, though.
Yeah.
Well, hell, the ones where like you influenced the entire party or everybody at the party. That was
in the beginning.
Like, I'm pretty sure a handful of them were won because of that.
So out of the 23 key components to influence at the party, you got 16 of them, which is about 3/4 of your total goal.
Okay, that's
which
good.
would mean that this event, the Gallery of Tyrrany and and the Claimers Conquest crew are successful.
Yay!
But all of you leave in the early hours of the morning. Every phase was an hour, and there was an hour for beginning prior to the phases. So it's probably like 3 or 4 in the morning at this point.
Oh my gosh.
And you all depart going whichever separate ways you go. Likely it would be a good idea for some of you to rest, but we will pick up with whatever comes next at the next Claimers Conquest. But that is the end of the Gala of Tyranny.
Yay! Of course, if people want to know what happens to the other group that separated away, including a few of the Claimers Conquest crew, you'll have to tune in next time for the Stolen Souls, the return of the Stolen Souls, where those characters will be making cameo appearances for the Stolen Souls event coming up, which I have scheduled on, what's the date today here? I'm looking at the 24th, so the 9th? I have the Stolen Souls listed as the 9th of April. So April 9th, you will get to see what happens to the other crew of heroes from this party that ended up having to leave early to save their friend. So, of course, next week is the Old School 3 campaign. So we'll be able to rejoin the Old School 3 next week to see where that goes. Of course, everybody who is part of this special event, all of the players, those here and those not present, I appreciate all of you. This was a lot of fun. This was really cool. Of course, Matt, Andrew, you guys did awesome bringing the two groups together and making a very special, unique event that I don't think has been seen yet. Probably just even in streaming in general was very unique and fun. So thank you so much for running this.
You are welcome.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, it was fun.
With that being said, guys, we are going to raid on out. I want to go and raid this dude. This dude's kind of, he's been on off the pod. He is one of the founding members, one of the head dudes for the Black Collar Collective charity organization, of which I like to say that I am part of. We are doing a charity coming up in April. On April 26th for the AIM Youth Mental Health Charity Raid Train. That's going to be on the 26th. He is one of the lead guys running that, so we're going to go and give him some support. as he's been working fervorously to put that together and get all the people together. And of course, the next 2 off the pods are going to have members from the Black Collar Collective that are going to be part of that event as well. We're going to be having Drag of Vega, who's a stand-up comedian as well in his real life outside of streaming, and we're going to be joined by Namvin, who is a streamer, a retro streamer here on Twitch as well. They're all part of that, and we're going to be doing our best to promote that AIM Youth Mental Health big special charity event. So thank you guys so much for being here. We're going to raid on out to Wino. You can use my raid emotes, your raid emotes, anybody's raid emotes. Thank you guys so much for being here. We'll be back tomorrow with some more Assassin's Creed, and Friday I think we're going to play some Palia again. So we'll see you guys later down the road. Thank you so much, and have a good night, everyone.
Beneath curves of gilded light, 2 paths converge one fateful night. Rose and souls, their tales align, a conquest forged in space and time. Dice roll in the twilight, threads of fate entwine. The boneyard calls its champions as ancient runes still shine. Rise, oh heroes brave, face the dark that craves. In the dark we stand, together we defend the land. Our faith now forged in precipice, the stolen conquest. Gallery of whispers, dancing echoes of the past. Ran the Lord's wrath, encroaching stolen souls are cast. The planes and powers tremble as destinies collide. Heroes bound by duty, through chaos will decide. Rise, oh heroes brave, face the dark that craves. In the dark we stand, together we defend the land. Our faith now forged in precipice, the stolen conquest.